Yay. Right. Well, I'm so glad to see so many people here tonight. That's great. Like I was saying earlier, we have a few people who aren't making it tonight for some various reasons. Laura Jensen. But so next week it should be the same link as tonight. So you can delete the second Monday link um, for yourselves because I think I have it set up for us to um, do the same link the first two Mondays. And actually, it says it's the same link for every Monday of the month, but we're only going to meet on the first two Mondays. Okay, so just because the link works on other Mondays, I probably won't be here. So, all right. Um, so with the new people that have come on, we we are kind of making it a requirement that everybody have at least the free month subscription to Pixels to Pages. Um, and then you can decide whether you want to do the full subscription if you don't already have it. But technically, we're supposed to, people are supposed to be using Pixels to Pages to be able to do more of the things that we have available on Artisan. And I'd like to move it along so that people who are a little bit more proficient than others can have something fun to do too. And those of us who need some extra time with things can take that time. So I don't want to hold people back particularly, but I also don't want to overwhelm people too much. We are using the Getting Started Guide to Artisan. So if you have not downloaded that or don't have it available to you, it would be a good thing for you to have maybe on your computer so that you can access the links that are in there because there's a lot of video information in there that explains things maybe better than I can, or at least give you an opportunity to see what's coming next. So I don't want to hold anybody back from watching any of those videos that you feel so inclined to watch, even if we haven't talked about it yet. So this is our second month of blueprints. Did you guys download your March blueprints from
Nope.
the Pixels to Pages site?
Do we just hide if we're feeling bad?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
I never download them. I just too much.
Okay,
Oh,
fine.
I love
So,
them. They're part of my someday when I'm a grown up and can sit down and work on this
yeah,
schedule. I like to know that I've got them where they need to be.
and then if something ever happens to your subscription, you don't lose things. So you're missing out on, at least my perspective, you're missing out a part of your subscription if you don't download them. But if you really don't ever use them, then that's fine. It's whatever floats your boat. I'm not going to um, get upset one way or the other about it, but just to let you know that on the Pixels to Pages page is the rabbit to rabbit or rabbit rabbit, and it gives you information about things that are coming up in Pixels to Pages. And then one of the uh, next um, items on the page is the blueprint download. So being able to have that and start building your supply would be would be helpful for you guys who want to do that. Um, so the big thing that's coming up in April is Pixie 500. And if you have not signed up for the big event in April, and even if you don't know a lot about Artisan, I think that it behooves you, if you can, to set aside the weekend of April 17th to the 19th for that training. And I will tell you that it is overwhelming, especially if you're new to Artisan. However, it's all recorded. You can go, once you pay your $159 fee for the weekend, it's all recorded. You can listen to it whenever you want to. If you have to go to church, then you haven't missed it because you can watch the recording later. And most people will say, don't plan on that weekend being a working weekend. It is a learning and training weekend. So most of us get very few pages done that weekend because we're all trying to learn new things. And so being able to set that time aside is a big help. I've done it since they started doing the remote ones, and even before that. So um, there are a lot of work on Pixels to Pages part, and they really do a nice job of training everybody and giving you a chance to ask questions and do different things. There are for the $159, you get 60 blueprints, 70 blueprints, whether they may be 10 or 20 cover blueprints. You get double page spread blueprints. You get single page blueprints. You get blueprints. You also get a lot of free artwork with it. And all of the designers will be doing their thing with their artwork, and you will get a lot of free things for that $159. You also get a $25 gift card or gift certificate with that. What am I missing, Barbara? Am I missing anything from what the freebies are?
I think that's most of it.
I think
I have
that's
trouble
most of it.
keeping up when they start rolling in and we're working.
Yes. So just to let you know that starting next week, we are going to be starting the practice things for that event. So we can go over some of that during our time together, but my main piece is going to be trying to help you understand Artisan a little bit more, rather than doing all of the activities that the Pixels to Pages has for you. But it would be nice, it would be worth it for you to kind of pay attention to what's going on and ask questions. So I know, Linda, you've signed up for it. I'm signed up. Barbara, you signed up?
I am.
I'm signed up.
You are signed up, Sandy?
Yep,
And
I am too.
Okay. Joy signed
Hi,
up.
Joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
You don't?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot to take in. So but like I say, don't let it get overwhelming for you. Watch the show and then watch the recordings again so that it makes more sense.
I
So
think that
would be
because with your $159, you're not just getting 3 days of training, but you're getting 8 weeks of prep
yeah.
leading up to your intensive 3-day crash course.
Yes.
So you have 8 weeks of helping you put the tools in place to make your time during those 3 days to be the most beneficial so that you feel equipped and prepared to, if nothing else, just sit back and bask in the fire hose of information that you're going to receive.
Yes, yes. So it's thank you, Anne. So there's a lot coming. Um, and like Anne said, you're going to get these next several weeks of you'll get the blueprints, you'll get some activities to do that week after you download your blueprints. You'll then the next week you'll get some other activities and some more goodies. And they usually will have some kind of an activity like when you download your um, when you download your blueprints, like we talked about last month, having your sections of 12-inch blueprints, 11-inch blueprints, and double page spread blueprints. Have those in separate folders in your computer so that when you need something with that many photo spaces or need a specific kind of thing, you don't have to search through 90 different blueprints to find one that you're looking for. So it's a good idea and I have a folder for cover blueprints too. So I have those 5 folders on my computer for those. They help you learn about tagging. We haven't talked about tagging, but they go through tagging your embellishments in your papers and things so that when you need a heart, you're not searching through all of the kits looking for a heart. You've got it tagged so that all you have to do is look at hearts and all of the hearts that you have will come up. So it makes it so they go through a lot of training, and they're going to use some of what we're doing here to help start getting you ready for the weekend. So if you have questions, let me know. Send me a note, send me a text, that kind of thing, or send me something on Facebook. I will be out of town starting Wednesday for a couple, 2.5 weeks or so, going to Florida to help my mother with things. But I will be here for Monday next week and to answer questions if you guys have those. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, that's interesting. You cannot minimize the workplace when you're recording. All right. Well, then I won't then. Okay. So let's see if I can get where I want to go. Okay. So I think last week we talked a lot about the home ribbon, mostly, I think. And I want to check in with you guys and see if that's what you remember too. Did we go on to the insert ribbon very much? The insert ribbon is the one where you put in your frames, you put in your text boxes, and you can add other things onto your page. I'm going to get rid of these. Because I don't know what I was doing with it. Come on. So anyway, the insert button I think is one of the most important ones that you're going to use. We did talk a little bit about this inserting a new photo in a frame. That's where we got kind of wonky last week, where we added a photo and it just came in. Oops, not that one. It just came in on our page, and we hadn't really experienced that before. So if I put this one on, it just comes in. So you don't, but it doesn't show up in on your photos on your right-hand side of your page. And we were trying to figure out why. Oh, it did show up. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, I thought that's where we were when we had that issue come up and people were not finding their photos in this photo content side. But, all right, so we talked about that. The empty frame is very easy, and you can, if you guys want to play with me play on your computer while I'm playing on mine so that you can see what I'm talking about, that would be great. You can change the size of your photo frame, and then you can just click and drag your photo in to where you want it to be. And then the next thing on here is doing your text box. Now, you have to remember to create your text box. If you just try to insert the text box and then try to type, it won't work. You have to create the text box. And I forget that periodically, that I get so busy doing something and have thoughts going on that I forget to create the text box. But then with the text box created, now you can change your font. You can change the size, whether you want it bold, italicized, or underlined. You can change the color of your font and all the alignment pieces that you want to have included in your text box. One of the tips that they had for us, a week or two ago, was not to forget this insert symbol piece. That here is where you find your accents, you can find, if you're typing in a different language, like Natalie does in Pixels to Pages, she types in French, and so she uses the symbols for the specific letters that use a different accent on them.
So where did you go? Because I was just getting my A6 open.
Okay. All right. So in your text box, your font area, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
insert.
So
Okay.
down here where it says insert symbol, and most or many of the fonts will have some kind of a symbol page so that you can look for things. It has many times this is kind of where you find the fractions, the squares and square roots and that kind of thing. So or if you need to do some kind of a formula, there's the sum sign. And
okay, go back. Where is it again? Is it under font?
Okay. If you've set up your text box.
Okay.
And you've created your text box. When you are up here at the top where you're looking for what font you want to use, okay, down where it says color, right next to that is going to be
insert symbol. Okay.
Insert symbol.
Sure.
Okay. And so, like I say, here's on this font, here's the half or quarter-inch side. This is the half-inch fraction, 3/4 inch fraction. So it's nice to know how to do that. So they had a reminder tip about that a week or two ago. And that would have been part of your productivity challenge if you're doing the productivity challenge. Okay. Within the text boxes, you have the text path. And so you can create a text path on your page, whether you want it to be squiggly or straight lines. Then you create, and then with this, you just type in what you want to say. Okay. Click OK. And then it just follows that line that you have. So you can make it bigger so that it takes up the whole space, or you can add more words to it, obviously. So that's another thing that you can do with text boxes. Questions?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Judy's here. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're doing that, and what am I doing? Well, now it won't let me. There we go. Okay, so that's the text path. Alpha sets are a little different. You may have gotten some alpha sets within the free kits that you got with the Pixels to Pages, and they all reside within your Artisan account. So I'm really sorry that I don't have very many to choose from. I really am not that big of a font horse, but I do have a lot of them. And you just decide which one you want to use. So let's say I want to use this one. And I select content. You can't just, you have to select what you want. So now I can type in what I want. So now it may tell me that it won't do lowercase letters. That's generally okay, for me anyway. If I need it to have, okay, so it contains letters or letter cases that are not available in the selected alpha set. If I really want to have lowercase letters, I need to look for an alpha set that has lowercase letters in it. But that's what this looks like. And you can arrange it. You can squish it up so that it fits in a smaller place. You can make it larger. You can change the color of the flowers and that kind of thing. You can also, in the arrange ribbon, is where you ungroup things. So the alpha sets always come in as a group. And so then you just ungroup it. And now I can go to each letter and I can change it up a little bit if I want to. So
Lindsay, you said that you could change the colors of just the flowers. How do you do that?
No, probably you change the whole thing of the
Okay.
of the letter, but it's
Okay.
not you. I don't think there's a way to do it just with the flowers themselves, but thank you for that. So you would have to come to come to the color wash, and then you would have a different color for that. So you could change a lot of things in here to make your title look different or give it some interest. So that's one thing that you can do with the, and then the suggestion is that you regroup these all together so that they don't go wonky on you. So you're going to use the group, and then it'll stay there in that shape for you. Alpha sets. All right,
Lindsay,
then what?
Lindsay, I know that the alpha sets, I've seen recently that the kit comes with the alpha set and then each one of the letters as an embellishment. So what's the difference and why? What are the benefits?
And how can we tell the difference?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So in your content area, I have to find one that does that. See if I can find one quickly here. Some of them do have the, you're right, they have the well, that one didn't work. Well, let's go back a second here. Let me go find an alpha set. Find out what the title of it is. Okay, Christmas garland. Okay, Christmas garland. Huh. Well, maybe this one just has it as an alpha set and doesn't have it as the separate.
I know there is one of the Christmas ones that does have each letter as a separate embellishment.
So Lindsay, I just opened the Christmas cardinal one.
That's it.
When I ungrouped it, oh, now it is, but it was all moving as a whole.
The letters, you mean?
Yeah, but now it's working. I don't know what I did.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to find one that has alphas in it. But I honestly don't know how you know by looking at the kit if it has a full alpha. I mean, you can tell if it has all of the letters in it by scrolling through the whole thing, which is kind of putsy, which is why I tend to go to the alpha set area and type in my title. But the thing with
Gingerbread cookie alpha set has both.
gingerbread cookie, okay.
You have that?
You guys are better than I am. Oh,
that's lovers. I got a different one. That's what I was thinking. I can look at all mine, but do you buy the same stuff I do?
Yeah,
okay. I'll look for another one.
And apparently I don't have that one, but I guess the nice part about the individual ones in your elements panel or in your your elements is that you could take this one letter and you can make it a big one, and then you could stub these other letters, or you could use a different font altogether with this. So that to me is basically the reason why they have them separate.
I agree.
But if I'm going to type out the name of something, I usually use the whole alphabet and then change it up by ungrouping. But there have been times when I have done where I will maybe go and do an alpha shape and change it. Okay, I like this one. So if I do this, then I can take this whole group and I can make it a different font to add interest, possibly.
I like that font, Lindsay. What is it?
It is Annie, I think. Let me check and see. Nope, Katie Caps. 003 KT, KATIE, and then Caps, CAPS.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wonder, Lindy, is it because like alpha shapes, we can change that and make the fill, we can change the fill to a photo drop point, and
Yeah,
maybe with an alpha set, we need that to be an embellishment to be able to fill it with that.
maybe.
I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just kind of trying to.
That's a good thought. I hadn't thought about it that way. But I know that if these letters were blocky enough that you can impose a photo in there. So if I want to say, fill the selected element with this photo, and then there's part of the picture there. So there are lots of things that you can do with the alphabets, whatever you are calling them. But just to say that that if you use an alpha set, you can do the whole thing in a different format. However, if it's wood colored, or if it's flowers or ornaments or dots, that kind of thing. There are lots of fonts that way, just like there are an inordinate amount of fonts in your computer just to cull from. If you look at your fonts in your computer, you typically have a plethora of fonts, and you can go buy fonts and you can get free fonts for whatever kind of page you're doing. So do we have any other questions about that section of the insert ribbon? So then the next set of items on your insert ribbon are embellishments. So if I want, the thing is with Artisan, there's 3, 4, 5 different ways to get to the same place as you're going along. So you kind of need to play with it and see which way works best for you. So along the insert ribbon, I can insert something from an art kit, So let's say I want to insert something from homeschool days, and I'm going to put in this star. Okay, that's one way of doing it. If I come to my content over here on the right-hand side, and I go to that same kit, homeschool days, I can add it to my page. So you get the same thing. So there's, like I said, there's lots of different ways of getting to the same place. It just kind of depends on what's easiest for you. Okay? Then paper is the same thing. You can do it from up here, from an insert from an art kit. And so that I have to insert content. I can make it a shape, or I can make it the background, or I can add it as an element. Typically, I will add it as an element only because to make it the background means that I have to have something else generally on top of the background to make the effects that I want. So once you glue it to the background, it's glued to the background and you can't move it around. So if I add it as an element.
Yours?
What? Okay, so now this is added as an element here on the left-hand side of my page, and my background is still white. So now I can lower the opacity of this page. And because if I were to have made it the background, at this point you would start seeing checkerboards in there. And you don't want to see the checkerboard. So this way you can lower the opacity as much as you want without seeing
So
that.
where did you go to lower the opacity?
Okay, there's this checkerboard icon up here just underneath the ribbon.
Yes.
Okay,
I had no idea what that was.
Yes. So that way, if you run it all the way up to 100%, it's fully covering the page. But if I want to lower the opacity, then I can do that. Okay. But
well,
if
Linda, are you almost always keeping your background white?
What's that?
Are you almost always keeping your background white then?
Yes. Because like I say, if I go to change, if I make this a color, all right, so if I say here, this is another way to add paper, is to go to to the background, let's say, and I'm going to fill it with a solid color. Okay. And now if I'm on the background and I go to lower the opacity, you see how the checkerboard is starting to show through? And people typically don't like that.
That wouldn't print that way though, would it?
Okay.
It wouldn't
it doesn't print. It doesn't print the checkerboard, but
you don't know what it's going to look like.
But it makes it feel like something isn't right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I usually leave the white background white and then put something on top so that I don't have to worry about the checkerboard piece. Okay. So like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. This one is interesting, the shape one, and over here in your right hand side of your screen, you see the puppy dog paws over here on the right hand side. You have papers, embellishments, shapes, strokes, frames, and colors. So if you click on the puppy dog paws, you'll get all the shapes that are built into your kits and the shapes that you have purchased from wherever. So with shapes over here, this is where I can put in rectangle. So many times when you start working on a bright idea or a video idea, they want you to insert a shape. So they'll say, go to the insert ribbon, go to content, go to shape, and click on the rectangle, and then create. And many times they will say they don't want you to use a stroke, so they don't want you to use this black line around things. They want it to be without a stroke, so you can change that, and we can go over those things at some point when we've gone through most of this. So this is adding a shape. Now if I want to make it a circle, I have my shape highlighted, and if I want to change it, I can create this shape, okay, or I can, where did it go? There it is. Or I can cut this shape out of a piece of paper. Come on. All right, so now I can cut it out of something. I can change it a little bit if I want to, and I can cut it. Or I could figure out what color paper I want instead. And then you can apply this shape to the selected elements. And this is really cool because now I'm going to use this piece of my square again. I'm going to apply the shape to the selected elements, and it made it a circle. So I don't have to go, I need to go up to the cut ribbon, cut out a circle, etc., etc. So it makes it kind of nice. So now if I want to change that into a heart, I can do that. So they've really done some pretty cool things with Artisan and being able to do different shapes. One of the things that Pixels to Pages has done, if I look at all of the shape, these are all of the shape kits that I own. But Pixels to Pages has started doing, well, several years ago, they started doing shape magic. So you have various things that you can use on your pages that are shape magic things. So if I take this and I apply this to this element, I have this wreath kind of look. Can you see that? I add a little stroke to it. And some of the really cool things that Pixels to Pages has done is when let me get rid of some of these things. When they created these things, you can change the shape, obviously, and you can color in this part if you want to with a color.
Can you put a text box in there, Lindsay?
Sure. Yep.
Is that considered an edge?
This is a shape.
Okay, but when I go into my shapes, it says shape edge corner.
Are you on this? You're not on the same kit I am, are you?
No. Do I have
Okay.
Shape Magic 2? I have Shape Magic 11.
Okay.
Nope.
Shape Magic 11.
I have Shape Magic 4.
Okay, so here's 11. Okay. So I don't understand what you're asking me.
Oh, I was just wondering where you got that. Yeah. It's at the top of the page where it says Shape Magic.
Yeah.
Mine says all under Shape Magic 11, all. Then it says Shape Edge Corner.
Huh.
But some of them don't have it doesn't have edge or corner. Oh no, it has edge. It gives me a set of silverware.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this.
Yeah, but it delineates. It's the only thing that comes up. But then all gives me everything.
Where did you go to find that?
Under select shape.
Oh, up here at the top?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So if we're in here, you go to from an art kit.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. And then you come down here to your commercial art kits. You do Shape Magic 11. And then you come over here and you pick what shape you want.
But then go up there where it says shape and then it says edge. Go in there.
Yeah.
And that just shows you the one.
Yep, just the one. And then there may not be any not be any corners. Okay, and then this is all. So if you're looking for edges, then you'd want to go to the kit and look at the edge tab. But if you're looking for something specific like this, then you can use that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so again, there are many different ways of finding the same thing within Artisan. You can do it the way Sandy did it and the way we just did it, or you can come over here to the puppy paws here and find the kit that you have that has shapes in it. So it could be from the mountaintop crop if you had that one. And
okay, so how
sorry,
would
you guys. What?
Like in Shape Magic 5, do you have that one? It has an edge, and I'm like, how do you use the edges then?
Okay, let me find.
Or just one that has an edge.
And how do you find edges other than the way Sandy just did it? Because it doesn't have it up in the content section for just edges.
Okay, so we're looking at the puppy dog shape here in your ribbon. Okay, we're going to go to from an art kit. We're going to go to number 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have overlays, borders, frames, banners, dividers, and flourishes.
Click on edge, Lindy. It gives us 3 edges.
Okay.
So how do you use an edge?
Well, let me insert content. Okay.
All right.
And then I would probably shorten it up a little bit but and then you put create.
You also put,
Did that answer
Okay.
your question?
Yes, okay, so, but it distorted it, didn't it?
wouldn't you
Well,
put
it is a little, it is.
So why don't you,
why put
so
tab
do,
two?
do the back button, and would you insert a second one, maybe?
You can,
I
sure.
do. If I do, and just line them up
Yep.
across.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
So do you
Sure.
copy and paste it then? Is that how that works?
Yep, yep. All right.
Okay.
So if we do that, where am I? Shape from an art kit. Five, and I'm doing an edge. Okay, so I do that. Sort content.
And you can
Okay, so
unlock
then-
the aspect ratio.
What's that?
You can unlock the aspect ratio
Yep,
too.
yep. And so if I want that, okay, I have to create that first one. Now I can copy and paste.
Uh-huh. Okay. And turn it around if you want it on the side or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Or slide it over this way so that it comes in on top. And your little arrows, guys, are really your friend. Here, those 4 arrows, the up, down, left, and right, so that you can line things up a little bit more with a little more finesse. That's not really very good. So,
Lindsay, I'm going to have to beg out tonight, but thank you so much. I'll try to come on.
yep, you're welcome. I'll send you the recording
All right.
so you'll
And
get
we'll-
the rest of it.
Next week then. if
Yep,
possible.
yep.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Sharon.
Goodbye.
So, does that help, Linda?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
you're
very
welcome.
much.
And then again, you can make the stroke a little smaller, and you can change the color. So if I want to do it green, okay? So you can change a lot of things in there. So does that make sense to everybody? You guys have to
Yes.
let me know if I'm going too fast or if I'm giving you too much information at various points.
I have to leave. I'll be back in an hour.
Okay, hopefully we'll still be here. Thanks, Barb. Okay, so we've gone through that. The next thing on this ribbon is inserting a line. And that's, you've got 3 different ways of doing it. You can do it with freehand if you're really good at, making circles or whatever, if that's what you want to do with your shapes. Or you can make a straight line or path. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, so I set up the ruler positions. So if I want that to be at 2 inches, I set my ruler there, and then I come in with my dots, and I make my line there, maybe. Where did it go? There it is. I need to make a stroke on it so that it's a little bit bigger for you to see. Okay, so there's my line. And then you can always do a curved line too. So you can do a curved line or path or a straight line or path. I know this is going into the weeds a little bit, but if I right click on this line, I can go to shape, edit the line, and now I can see how it changed from the black to the blue on there. You guys see that? When it changes to blue, I can right click again and I can make it curved, which didn't make it too curved, but that's how you might edit a line. Or I can add, I can do this. Now that makes it a little more curved. So it's not a straight line with a corner and that kind of thing. You can add points to this and let it make a shape that you might want instead of doing it freehand, which I.
So when you got the ruler, where did you get the ruler?
Okay, so you click on the rule, whichever side you want
Oh.
the ruler on. You click it, you right click. Well, no. All right, you left click it, and then when I want it to be in a very specific spot, I right click that tab and I set the position for, say, 1.5 inches away from the edge, and then OK. And then I can use this to add my line in here. So if I'm going to do the straight line or path, I'm going to go click there, and make it has to have a stroke. And then when you're ready to get rid of all of those ruler lines, you just right click on the ruler or around somewhere on the ruler and then remove all tabs. Does that make sense?
Yes. What doesn't is remembering it.
I know. That's why I send you the recordings. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really getting over some kind of crud that I've had for a long time now and starting to feel better. What's next? Okay, so we've had some questions about the outliner tool. I'm going to clear all of this stuff off of here. Okay, so the outliner tool allows you to do several things. So if I have, let me put a shape in here. And the outliner tool can help you. That's not a very good one. All right, we'll play with this one. Okay, so I'm going to create this shape. Now there's a couple of ways that because sometimes you might want this to be a photo. You can make it different colors. You can change the stroke on it so that it's bigger or more elaborate. But sometimes you might want it to be a photo. So if I right click on that item, I can fill it with convert to a photo drop point. Okay, so now that part is going to show up as a photo. So if I say to insert, so fill this selected element with this photo, right? So it's not going to work completely well, but all right. Okay, so that's one way to do this. And then you would have to watch your aspect ratio so that you don't squish it or do something wonky with the shape of the picture, if that's important. I can use paper in here. I can use just color in here. But if I want to, all right, I'm going to back up one more. I can use the outliner tool. And when I do that, it creates another shape that looks just like the original one. And then technically, I don't need that original shape anymore. So I could get rid of it if I want to, or I could hold on to it so that if I need a copy of it for some reason because I made a mistake, then I still have that shape hanging around. But I can also fill this with convert to a photo drop point and do the same thing that I just did. And the other nice thing about this is okay, let me back up one more. If I want to turn this around and I want to put my photo in here, my photo is going to be oriented looking down. So if I put that photo back in here, okay, you see how it's sideways, and there's no way with the way this is set up that I can orient my parents' faces vertical unless I flatten this piece. If I flatten it, it changes the orientation of the photo now so that it's vertical. So that's one of the big things that the outliner tool will do. So if you decide that you want, if you need your photo to be at a different orientation and your photo spot doesn't do that, then you want to use the outliner tool and flatten it so that now it will be the right size. The only thing that makes it a tough decision is that it doesn't allow me to inside here. This is not a live photo anymore, so there's no handles over here to say I can zoom in or I can zoom out. So that's one of the things that you have to think about when you are using that tool and flattening, the outliner tool and flattening. So
Lindsay,
it's what?
Where did you go to make it a photo box?
Just go right click, go to fill, and then if you go down almost to the bottom, it converts it to a photo drop point.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that the The other thing that the outliner tool does is that in some of the kits that we have, let's see here if I can find one quickly. They have kits that are that Pixels to Pages has developed that when you, if you really want an easy thing to put together, what am I looking for? I have to think about what they're called. There we go, blueprint builders. Okay, so if I'm going to use this blueprint builder, I can just add to page, and everything comes in where it's supposed to be. But let's say that I want this handwriting piece here to go to a different place. I don't want it to be over here on this side. I want it to be over here. Well, the way it's set up right now is that it does not allow you to do that because it's on a 12 by 12 piece of paper, so to speak. So all of these things that are coming in are the same size. But if I do the flatten button, it allows that one. So I've got one thing selected here. And if I do the flatten button, it allows that one piece to now be able to move somewhere else. It took that 12 by 12 bounding box that's around it and changed it so that you can move it around. The idea of this whole thing is to be able to say, okay, I have all of these put in here. This is all going to be 12 by 12. So if I keep on going, everything is going to come in a 12 by 12 bounding box. But if I don't want it to be a 12 by 12 bounding box, then I have to take that one piece that I did and I have to flatten it so that now you see that bounding box has changed position a little bit. I know it's hard to see it on here. But that's the idea of the flattening, is to bring in that bounding box so that you can see what you're working on. Is that clear as mud for everybody?
Yeah, about as clear as mud.
But it's just one of those things that we just have to play with a little bit and practice with, and hopefully you guys are taking a little bit of time every day or every couple of days to play with your Artisan account and see how things work. What?
I said, who has time? I have to go to a workshop.
Well, to be able to have time, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you're spending time with us tonight. So, but like I say, when you get the recording, then you'll have an opportunity to look at it. I know that most of us don't look at the recordings if we have already seen it. I know that that's the way many of us typically work, but being able to practice with it, and many of us spend 15 minutes a day in our Forever account to spend 15 minutes a day in your Artisan account too. And I know that's hard sometimes.
So what does flattening do? Like I found I just put a picture into a shape and I found the flatten button, but I don't understand what it does.
Let me clear out some of this. Well, how sweet that is. It says it can't be deleted. Well, whatever. All right, that's because I changed it. Okay. There's always a workaround to not have to look at things. Okay. So when you are putting something, flattening changes the bounding box. So let's put this on here, okay? If I can move it, but you see how the bounding box changes that way? If I want to be, and if I want this to be over here, I don't want to have to guess where all of this is over here on the outside. So by going to the flattening, you'll see that the bounding box is now this size. Because if I had wanted to enlarge this without flattening it, I'd have to. It won't. That's not what I want. I want this. Okay? Then I'd have to enlarge it by going to each of the corners, which you can do, but it's easier to change this by cutting the bounding box down, and now I can shape it or put it wherever I want it and have more control over where it's going. The other thing that it does is if I wanted this shape to be, probably won't let me delete it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I have a frame in here, and I want to put in something that has a horizontal axis on it. See if I can find something that'll work. Okay, so let's say I want this to be put in here, which it won't let me do. But if I do this, and I really want it to be this way instead, I can do that. But if I go to put a picture in here, that picture is going to be vertical. Okay. Okay, so you can't tell very well with that, but it's going to be vertical. If I want it to be horizontal, like this frame is, then I have to go to the flatten, and it changes the orientation. So if I do, so this is the top. Okay. So this here technically with this little green button is the top of that element. If I want it to be oriented correctly and have it and have the top of my photo being up here, I have to flatten it. And now the orientation is up here at the top. And the picture that I put in here will be oriented vertically if that's what I want.
Okay, so sometimes I have made a photo box and then decided that instead of having it vertical, that I wanted it horizontal. But then when I put the picture in, it also went
Yeah.
the same. So I would have had to flatten it to get what I wanted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand now. And
Okay.
again, it's to remember.
I know. I know. Okay. So, questions? Too fast, too slow, too overwhelming? Do you guys want time tonight to play a little bit with your artisan and work on a page that you might want to do and see how you do while we're together and ask questions? Would that be helpful? I'm not going to ask you to share your pages.
No, I'm not sure what I would work on.
Okay.
I mean, it would be helpful, but it would be like if you had asked us to pull in pictures or something ahead of time.
Yep. Well, if that would be helpful for you guys, why don't we do that for next Monday? So that you can have something to work on, and we can take some time to assimilate what we're learning, and you can ask questions as we're going along, and we can, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys.
So
because there's so much. What?
Lindy, when we started, we were working on the insert, and there's the stamp and then the calendar.
Yep.
Can you?
Yep, we haven't done that. So you're right.
Okay.
We can go back to there. So the last two things on the insert ribbon is using the stamp. And I personally think it might be kind of fun for you guys to try to figure out where else within Artisan you can find how to do these things. But I also suggest that you take a little bit of time and listen to the videos that are within the getting started stuff. All right, so let's look at stamp. Okay, so I have to have something. I have to have something on my page that I want to make into a stamp. And a stamp, you guys know that it doesn't cover everything when you do the stamp. So it kind of gives it a faded outline of the item that you're putting on your page to give it some depth on the page. So if I were to put this little button on my page, you want me to change the background color? Change it to white, or are you okay with the blue?
That's fine.
Blue.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to make my button bigger. Whoop. I'm going to make my button bigger. Okay. And then I'm going to go up here to stamp, click stamp. So you've got a couple of different ideas for using the stamp. This is the blended color stamp, and you have threshold color stamp. So if I do that, you have a different coverage than with the blended one. I can change the color. So let's say I want to, okay, so I can change the color, and I can, so maybe I don't want this blob here. Maybe I want the coverage to be a little more grungy.
Cool. I've never understood stamps.
What's that?
I've never understood stamps. I just nod my head when people talk about them. So this is really cool.
Good, good. And then you have several patterns. So this is the standard pattern for that color stamp. You have blotchy, which changes it a little bit. You have blotchy 2. You have rough. And then we have noisy. So it depends on, pardon? It depends
That was
on
me.
what.
I'm sorry, I was just laughing at all the different things we could do with that. That is cool.
Yeah, yes. And so you can, so if I wanted to now, so let's say I'm going to create that one. And now I can put this one maybe over the top if I want to, just to give it, and maybe add a glow or a shadow to it. I can do that so that it just kind of gives it a little bit of a depth to it, right? So let's see, maybe I want to do it this way. So anyway, that's what stamp does. And like you, Anne, I don't use stamp very often unless I'm told to. But that's one thing that you can do. And then of course you can do the other style, the threshold color stamp. And that one has a little bit more playing that you can do with it. So let me, okay, so I'm going to create that. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so there it is. Huh. I wonder why it's not showing up very much. All right, there's little itty bitty pieces of it down here that you probably can't see. So you see those little itty bitty pieces?
Yep.
So if you want it, if you have an area on your page that you only want a few little smudges, then this may work for you. If you want some area of your page to have a bigger smudge, then this one might work for you. So you just have to play with these things a little bit to really see what it can all do.
Yeah, so I just put a piece of paper on my page and then started doing all these things on it. And it does cool stuff, plus those little slides change also.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So you'll notice that one has more sliders than the other. So I think one has 2 and one has 3 sliders.
Yeah, mine just has, well, oh, yeah, now the blended only has one,
Okay,
and the threshold has two.
okay.
And then
Perfect.
there's the pattern thing at the bottom
Yep.
where
Changes the blotches.
yes, a noisy, rough.
Yep.
So that, I mean, I could see doing this with a sheet of colored paper if I want something,
Yep.
for it to look more textured.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. And then the last thing on our ribbon for tonight is using the calendar. So you can just put the calendar in and just click calendar, and it'll come up with January or whatever. And now I use this I don't use this very often this way. I do my calendars differently because I usually do them. Huh?
I can see, like, if you were doing a baby book
Yep.
and you wanted to put different
Yep.
things that the kids have achieved or whatever and when, this
Yep.
would be perfect.
Yes. Yes. So you just you could say these are the 8th month pictures or something. And you can set it up to be different sizes. Over here in the elements area over here, I can change this to February. I can change it to whatever year I want it to be. Okay. I can change the size of my border, my margin. I can remove the fill if I want to. Of course, you can't tell that because the background is the same. But if I want to change the fill, okay, that's changing the fill. I can select a different calendar style. So there's this one, and then this one. So you have a bunch of different calendar styles that you can use. You can show the month and year like we have up here. Show the title on the top. If I want the title on the side, all I do is click what side I want it on, or I can put it on the bottom. Then you can also orient your title to one side or the other or center. Choose your margins, have your border, have how much padding you want in between things. And then this color in here is your fill color. And right now it's kind of clear over top of the blue. But if I wanted to, it changes it a little bit in the intensity depending on what color I want my title to be.
So in which calendar style were those rounded boxes?
The one that I'm looking at now,
Yeah.
or different? This one?
No, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay. So then you can change your weekdays, how you want, if you want to show the full weekday or do not show the weekdays. Show the first letter of the weekday. So there's a lot of different ways that you can the abbreviated weekday. You can change the font to whatever you like and change it to bold or italic or whatever. You can center it in the center of your column, set your margins, border, padding, and then you can, up here, you can change the color of your days of the week. And then you have the ways to put in the numbers. You can change, so you can show the days from the previous and next month so that you know, you could say, oh, that was, January 31st, and this is the 1st. So you can, it's not for this current year though, don't get confused because I changed the date and made it way ahead. You can change the border a little bit. You can change the fill color. And then down here on notes, that's for writing inside these boxes. So I think that's what happens. Okay. So with Artisan, when you're doing a calendar, you can write or have the holidays show up on there within your calendar. You cannot do that on Create and Print. So if you're working with Inside Forever and you want to do a quick calendar, you're stuck with this format or whatever format it is. You don't get to go in and say, oh, the 20th is Sandy's birthday or Deb's birthday, or that's my anniversary. You can't do that within Create and Print. You can only make those notations within Artisan. Okay. So, questions?
Does it have holidays within this?
Well, there is a way to do it, and but that's a whole nother class.
All right.
That's a whole nother thing. So if you want to, you can look on Pixels to Pages for their training on creating a calendar and do that, which is really helpful. It helps you design your fields within your program so that every time you do a calendar and you go to January, those dates and who they belong to will show up, and you should be able to just click it and insert it on the date that you want it on. But it's putsy, like a lot of things, and but it does take some practice with it.
I know that when I bought my calendar to do a 12 by 18 or whatever it is, that I couldn't find one where I could pull in different, like when I had done an 8.5 by 11 last year, I pulled in different designs from art kits, and I wasn't able to do that this year. Evidently, they've eliminated a lot of stuff.
I think you can still do it in Artisan.
Well, that's where I was working.
Yeah.
In Artisan.
I mean, couldn't. I personally haven't had a problem with that, but maybe we can figure it out at some point. What might have been the issue, and it may have been the kit too that didn't allow you to do it, but you should be able to click into the cell and type in what you want.
Oh, yes. No, no, no. I meant for the upper part where I was doing photos.
Oh, it wouldn't let you put in new photos?
It wouldn't let me pull in pages from an art kit, pre-designed pages which is what I had done last year.
And I guess for me, if I were going to do that, I would do a new project, and I would pull in whatever pages that I want as my blueprints or whatever I'm using, pull it into there, and then copy and paste it into the top part of my calendar.
Oh, that never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Copy and paste, really.
Otherwise, you should have been able to do the insert template.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and no.
Yeah, I would think that you should have been able to do that. So I don't know why you weren't able to do that, but again, there's more than one way to skin the cat in Artisan. So
yeah, Barbara, you still on?
She's at dinner with her husband.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
yeah, my friend Laura left because she said that going over an hour was way too long for her.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm not sure she'll come back either.
That may be. And then your other friend said that she's torn between historian and artisan, and the only reason she would use artisan is to do her family history book.
Yes.
And so she's more interested in using the things I think that are in historian, and I need to touch base with her about that and talk that through with her. Not that I need to change her mind, but just so that she gets what she wants. So yeah. So and like I say, if next week you guys want to do some practicing on your own things and talk it through with all of us and show us what you're doing so that we can help you with things, I'm happy to do that, because I don't want you to sit out there and go, I still don't know what I'm doing. I want you to have an opportunity to practice and see how things work. So
right.
that's what I hope for at some point that we do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have a committee that I'm on at church, and we're changing our time. So I'm not sure if we're changing it this next week or not. So if we do, I won't be here.
Okay. All right. So how are you feeling, Karen? Put you on the spot.
A little overwhelmed, like working on any kind of pixels to pages stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to really kind of play with it more, because I do stuff in Artisan, but I don't do beautiful things in Artisan.
Oh, you do.
And I don't use the whole program there. Right. So learning the ribbon there is very good.
Good.
It has a whole lot more than what I've ever done.
So, well, good. I'm glad that you're getting some benefit out of this.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Linda, how are you doing? Thank you, Karen.
Actually, some things are coming together for me that, because I did make one photo book out of Artisan, but I didn't use any of this stuff. It was black pages with white letters and the pictures on there, because it was an old-fashioned photo book. But I could have made it so much better. but I'm learning some of these things now that, and I think maybe just I haven't watched I haven't watched last month's because I played with it and I kind of figured out then how to bring the pictures in the
Yep,
right way.
yep.
So yeah,
Good.
it's starting to make sense for me.
Good, good. I'm glad
But
to
the
hear
thought of
that.
that weekend in April is like
I know
overwhelming. Thank you for
it,
saying just sit back and
yep,
listen, and
yep. And
Mhm.
learn.
they'll tell you that too, that
Oh, good.
this is a training weekend. It is not really meant for you to follow what they're doing piece by piece because you'll get it in a digital file.
Hmm.
Everybody will get, so there is a book typically that you can purchase um, to hold in your hand and see things and see what other people have done, which
Okay.
is typically around $40, I think, for the book.
Okay.
So don't quote me on that. But you also get a PDF file so that you can print out everything that they teach us. So that when you get ready to work on, let's say, the outliner tool lesson that they taught, they go through all the steps and it's right there in your PDF booklet that you can
Great.
print out. The PDF
Great.
booklet that you can print out can be pretty hefty because it's all of the hints, all of the tips and stuff like that. So it may be, I'm trying to think. I want to say that the last book was maybe 130 pages because they had everything out. And so then you can look at the recording, you can look at your book, and you can say, okay, well, this direction doesn't, I don't understand this direction and that kind of thing. So then you can play with it some more. But um, yeah, it's good to have those things so that you can follow along with them.
Hmm.
But I would not suggest that you try. Now they will have work time. So they will have break times like for dinner and lunch and that kind of thing. And many people will spend some of that time in a chat room with other participants and working on some of the things that they've been learning. But, and then sometimes they have a late night time when people are working on things and you can talk to people. So depending on your stamina as to whether or not that works for you, you may say, "The heck with it, I'm going to bed."
Yeah.
So but so that you do have a little bit of work time, but that's not the emphasis of the weekend. The emphasis is really to get you looking at the various things that Artisan can do, see how people interpret it, because even with all of the even the blueprints, all of the bright ideas and such, everybody interprets the instruction a little differently depending on what your photos look like. So you may say, well, this I like this blueprint, but it has 7 photo holders and I only need 4. Then
Oh,
delete some and give yourself more room for journaling or something. Um, so you just, the pages are your pages. And but like I say, don't. And if you feel overwhelmed, take a break. You can always
okay.
listen to the recording another time. We can sit down and talk about it when we can get together as a group again. Um, so don't. I'm still learning things too, guys. So I don't know all the answers. I don't know all the things that Artisan. I'm totally every day that I work in my Artisan, I learn something a little new or a little different or oh gee, I never thought I could add that in and stuff. So or that thing makes such a big difference in the way the pictures sit, adding shadows and strokes and that kind of stuff. Oh, that really changes the look of my page by adding some of those things. So, it's all a process. So please, we can get on together and we can be a support team for each other with the April event. And I'd love to have everybody join us for that April event if you can. Even if you can't attend any of it, you'll get the recordings, you'll get all the free stuff, you'll get everything so that you don't lose that $159. So you're just putting it off to the side a little bit. So,
Lindsay,
yeah.
I have a suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
Initially, I agree. I think however long you have it, I can usually only stay for an hour, hour and a half. So I'm about at my limit. But what I wanted to bring up, Judy and I get together every so often, and we pick a bright idea or a video or a blueprint, and we work on that. And then whenever we can get together a week, 2 weeks later, we share what we've learned, because everyone, I mean, everything that you've said tonight, even though I knew some of the things, I learned so much tonight just from what you said, even though I'm like, hey, I didn't know I could do that. Just like Sandy said, it's like, oh, cool. But what I believe with being a Pixie 500 April workshop, that they're going to start sending out emails shortly on like 5th. How to prepare. Maybe we could take whatever they send us first on the 5th.
Sure.
And we could all work on that together. And then when we meet, we could say, hey, I need help with this, or what can you give me some ideas on that? And that way we can be better prepared for that April weekend.
That's a great idea, but there are some people here who are not going to Pixie 500. Right. So
but maybe we could
still do the blueprint idea. No, we could still do the bright idea and work on that together as a group if we want to, because everybody here is affiliated with Pixels to Pages in some way. And so we could do that. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is Beth Gibson Lilia would like me to have a name for this group. And so maybe Learning Artisan isn't the fanciest of names. Maybe it's exactly what we want. But maybe it's not, because she'd like to give us a little bit of advertising within her website and her newsletter and that. And so if you guys have any ideas as to what maybe we should name the group, if Learning Artisan is the best, then we can do that. If it should be something else, we can do that. The last time we did this, Sandy Wirtz got her item picked as the title of.
I did, didn't I? Artisan Work Group.
You're being very plain and to the point, Sandy.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you guys.
Learning with Lindsay.
What?
Learning with Lindsay.
Learning with Lindy. Okay. Okay.
I'm kind of feeling like an artisan amateur.
Well, I mean, you are, because.
Yeah, I am.
So maybe it's AAA, Artisan Amateurs Advancing, or Advancing Artisan Amateurs.
Oh,
I like that.
Anne, very good.
Ooh.
Nice.
So say that again, Anne.
Advancing Artisan Amateurs.
Beautiful.
The AAA women.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, that's interesting. Cool.
Or you can go, if we're into alliteration, we can just be Lindy's Learning Ladies.
I like that too.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So what do you guys think?
I
Is
think
that
the Lindsay's Learning Ladies and what Sandy said was what, Learning with Lindsay or
No, that
something
was
like that?
somebody else. I said
Oh,
artisan
somebody else said
joy.
it.
Oh yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you were right to the point, Sandy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's. Mhm.
Okay.
Does Beth want it to be Artisan in the name, do you think? So
I
people
don't
know?
know. Well,
If
I don't
that's what we're
know.
working with, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we do the AAA one.
Or
The
even
advancing
uh,
artisan amateurs or something.
I guess it depends on what your goal is. If you want to continue to advertise the group, you might want the name to have artisan in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Learning with Lindy works as an advertising, but then you're going to have a much more explanation and why and all of that. Um,
I like having Lindy in the name, but I do agree with you. I think advancing artists and amateurs is pretty amazing.
oh, there she goes. Add another A.
What did you say?
I said it's pretty amazing.
So what is your suggestion, Joy?
I like the advancing artists and amateurs.
Okay.
I think that, and I think Deborah mentioned something in the chat. It also allows for males to join too. If we have any male people that
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just female
Ladies.
oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
That
And
was
if you enjoy, you liked having Lindy in there, so you could do just Lindy's Artisan Learners or something real simple like that too. But
that's true.
Or advancing artisan amateurs with Lindy.
hmm
You
I
could
don't
do
know.
that. Yes. Mhm.
So, okay. All
Gee,
right.
Lindy, I just figured I didn't know that we could tag some of these elements right from right from here, that I don't have to.
Elements panel.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that they're going to work on for the Pixie 500 too.
Really?
Oh yeah. Every year they do more and more tagging of things.
Oh
So,
my God, but I have just about everything left to tag. That's why I don't want to add blueprints and stuff like that. I just have too much stuff that I never use.
well, I hear that. I've got a lot that I don't use, but there's always that one little thing in there that I really want. And I have to buy the whole dang kit to get that one
To get
thing.
it.
So anyway, yes. So right now there was a deal of the day a couple of days ago from Maggie Buckley that has race cars and things to create your face inside the race cars and the helmets and such. And one of the big things that they like to do with this event is they like to create what they call flats. So you create yourself and add clothing to you or add various embellishments to your body and then you flatten it so that it can be shared with other people and they can take you on flat trips. It's I participate periodically in that kind of thing, but Maggie Buckley came up with this kit. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I've even uploaded it yet.
You bought it.
I bought it.
I didn't. I didn't think I'd do it.
Well, I've got to go look for it in a different place, I guess. Content. I don't know where I'm going.
Shouldn't it just be under your newest kits?
Well, if I haven't moved it over someplace. Well, that's. But I should be able to find it here. One of the other things that they'll help you do with the work that we do prior to that is help you put your kits in a separate category so that you can find it when you're ready to do something that deals with this event. I know I didn't explain that very well because I'm trying to find.
They help you organize it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't
Good.
keep their organization though.
Well, you don't have to organize the way they do, but they give you suggestions. I'm not finding it quickly here, so
Yeah, what was that called?
yeah. Barb is back.
Yep, I'm back.
How was dinner, Barb?
Oh, it was good. Good bottle of wine.
Nice.
See if I can find it here in my orders. Wheels enhanced. I apparently haven't uploaded it yet.
Yeah, you haven't got it on your computer yet.
It's not in here yet, but I can maybe show you what it looks like.
It's cute and it's fun, but I have to cut back somewhere.
I know. All right, so this is what it looks like. So this is Maggie. This is her race car. And then she's
We
got
don't see it.
Can't
We don't
see
see
it.
it.
Oh, you don't
We
see
don't
it?
see it. No. We
Well,
still
that's
see your calendar.
Oh, well, all right. Let me stop that and I can show you this way. Okay, now you can see it.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
So I can't make it much bigger than that right now, so without messing things up. But
It's fun.
yeah. So you have the flag and you have the various colored outfits and that kind of thing. So they're giving us ways to create these little flat people and starting your
Right.
pages.
Cute.
So they will have people like the buskers, the group
they're
called the
big.
Buskers will have, so that this is, Buskers Flat Adventure Race. So they'll have all of theirs in there in the album, and then you can add your flat to the album, and they can take you on their little trips. And some of them are very elaborate. They're trips that they take. So it's fun. So anyway, all right. So I'm hearing that people are tired and minds are having a hard time focusing. So let's put this kind of on our homework for next week. Look at some of the videos that we haven't looked at, talked about. Take a couple of pages in your album that you're working in and where we had some of the blueprints added in, and see what you can do with making a page or two. See if you can figure some things out. And like I said, I think it'd be kind of fun to figure out how many different ways I can add paper to my page or add an embellishment to my page. And then maybe that'll help you decide what's the way you want to do it, so that you can have a go-to way of adding things to your page. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna
Yes.
work on some individual pages. We can share those, and we can take one of the bright ideas next week and play with that, since we'll have another new one. Work on pages, listen to videos.
So what videos?
Oh, okay, well, you want me to be specific.
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, well, if you haven't looked at the very first ones,
So this is in the Getting Started guide?
yep, out of the Getting Started guide. And there are, if you haven't really perused it off of your computer, there are worksheet pages that they have in there so that you could print them out and have them as a helping page by your computer if you want. So there's one on formatting text. And
all I ever did was I got started. I can't tell you how many books I've made already. And I've never watched any videos.
Wow.
Well, Sandy, you're a better woman than I am.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I've relied on Lindy. Or I contacted Forever and had them get on my computer.
Yep. Yep. So
good to know.
Okay, so creating let's see. Really?
Well, actually, I'm going to be working on taxes, not on.
Okay. All right, so just pick a couple of the videos and see what floats your boat. I don't want to. You can.
I've created a lot of stuff, but I always learn something new, even when it's tonight. I've learned something I didn't use. Just try whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Put it together.
So yeah, just pick a couple of videos and look at them. They're not long. A couple minutes long, maybe 4 minutes, maybe 6, but not terribly long, and see what you can pick up from that, and how you might be able to incorporate that into a page or two, and then we can go through questions and we can look at a bright idea and see what you think. So
good.
Okay. Anne, are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. My back is giving me horrible grief today, so I'm just kind of like
Yeah, I know. I'm
trying to find a
mine
comfortable
too.
way.
Yeah, I hear that. Mine too. So, and I get to spend 12 hours in the car on Wednesday. So,
Oh,
Wow.
so anyway, all right. Well,
Well, thank you.
you're
Yes,
Yes,
thank
This
you
is
thank
fun.
very
you
much,
very
Wendy.
much.
Thank you guys for showing up and coming. And I appreciate it. Talk to those people that you know have said they wanted to be here, but who haven't been here yet. And let them know that you might have learned a little something. And if you have suggestions for me on teaching things differently or better, let me know. And I'm used to people telling me what to do and where to go. So, okay. All right. Well, you guys have a great week. I'll see some of you on
right.
Friday, and then we will see you next Monday.
Great.
Thank
Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
And
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
I'll
Bye-bye.
resend the
Bye-bye.
link for next week. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye bye.